Choices, choices, too many choices.
You got a process for that.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.
We are honored that we've been able to create for you free access to over 683 Life's Inside Track episodes where we share insider tips, making house home, building wealth wisely through real estate. We're going to explore how do you remove that overwhelming feeling when you're searching and finding your home.
Yeah, I like to say, find your home without losing your mind.
Find your home without losing your mind. That's a good thing to say. It's true.
Yeah.
We don't want you to lose your mind. And yet we've heard many stories of people literally losing their mind. I always say when I lose my mind, it's okay.
Yeah, why?
Because I'll be back in 5. It'll be back in 5
It'll
minutes.
be back in 5?
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
And I think when people lose their mind, we mean they deregulate.
Yeah.
They get emotional. And in a state of deregulation or emotion, you make either no decision or a poor decision.
Generally, you're going to make an inferior one or no one, even when it would be good to make one. So both of those things are not cool.
Yeah, just put it on pause.
So we want to look at the process. We promised a process. It's simple. It's got 6 steps.
Yeah, there we go.
6. We're going to do this. See if we can do this. Number 1 is your clarity of your criteria. Have a sense of where, well, more than a sense, like have your must-haves, your nice-to-haves, your definitely do not want to have. There's really 3 lists.
Yeah, but we break it down into must-haves and nice-to-haves.
And I want to know what you don't want to have.
That's true. Because sometimes we rule out a house or a location based on what you do not want.
Right.
That's true.
It definitely
I'll give you that
is.
one, Yetta. Yeah.
Well, it's our process.
Is that a win? Do you want to write that on the wall?
No, I don't know why you just made that complicated. See how easy it can get complicated? We don't want to complicate. We want to simplify.
And sometimes before you can even do your criteria, you might want to look at your motivation, your why. Why am I thinking of buying? Why am I thinking of moving? Why am I thinking of selling and buying? Those questions are important because they guide the criterion that we're looking for or avoiding. And
it also helps in times when it might be seeming to be stressful. If we remember why we're doing it, the knowing your why or your motivation can eliminate a lot of the periphery stuff. Yep. The stuff that we can get all tangled in that really doesn't serve us very well anyway. The next one is know how much you want to spend and how much you can spend. Those are 2 different numbers often. Yeah. They're often not the same number.
What are you approved to? And what extra resources do you have if you needed it?
Right.
And what do you want to spend? What are you comfortable for your lifestyle? And what a lot of people forget is the closing costs. And they also forget the renovation costs. Because if you're looking for a model quality home ready to move into, then you're not typically concerned with renovation costs. And many times people are looking for maximum size or best location. And sometimes you're buying a gem in the rough. You're buying something that's a little rough around the corners, maybe a little dated, maybe perfectly usable the way it is, but very dated, very retro.
Yeah. And we're going to extend an invitation to the Building Wealth Wisely workshop, because if you or those you love have not yet acquired your ticket, you've only got 6 days till the actual next event on March 20th. And we want to make sure that you are there if you want to be there, because we know that over 90% of those that are millionaires have real estate in their portfolio. So it's not a mistake. There's a little success leaves clues.
Yeah, we also know that, I think it was Jim Rohn that said the average income or the average wealth of your 5 closest friends is going to be yours. So this is a great opportunity to find people who are like-minded, that are looking to build wealth wisely through real estate. Sometimes there's matches made where people buy bigger properties than they could afford on their own.
Because of the people that they met in the room.
Yeah. And they team up, they go together, they get something, and they build wealth together. They share the risk and they share the rewards.
And then the youth get to come for free, 15 to 21. So bring a youth if you have a ticket. And because we know also that if you get started early, you are assured success if you follow the process.
Yeah. Now, we look at sometimes a fair number of properties, especially online.
Yeah.
And what's the secret to not getting overwhelmed online? Because I know we have one client who's quite far out from coming back to Ottawa, and we set up a search, and she's been marking hundreds of properties as her favorite.
Yeah, and the reason she's doing that is so that she can be abreast of what is happening with the prices of those properties. Right? If it's something that she might consider living in, she wants to know how long did it take, and doing that research well in advance of the need to move, because she has the luxury to do that. And we've worked with them at least a half a dozen times now, and they're very detail oriented. So it avoids overwhelm for her to do the searching a year out and be informed and recognizing that things are shifting in the market. So we'll put most of our reliance on the more recent data when the time comes, but it sets her up to win. And looking online means if you're really working hard to convince yourself when it's time to view that you want to see that one, but you've already ruled it out for 9 reasons, you probably don't try so hard.
Yeah, don't look at it. It's just going to confuse you. It's just a waste of time for everyone. And it's confusing. It's way better to sort down to 3 or 4 online and go see those so your mind can have clarity on whether they're the right ones or not.
Right, which is step number 5. Now it's the whole process of actually going into the properties to view them live, up close and personal. And sometimes we have to do it FaceTime because our clients can't get here and they're from out of town. So there's lots of situations where you can't do the up close and personal. And if we, as your realtor, are there doing the up close and personal, we're going to be looking at things on video. We have to get approval for it with the seller and through their agent. But it gives you the details you need to be able to make a good, solid decision. The first game we always play is it yes, no? If it feels like no to you, we don't need to go through the details unless you really, really want to. Because if you're not buying it, why get that cluttered in your brain?
Yeah.
That creates the chaos.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, if you walk in and you go, this is not the house for me, we leave. We don't go check out the furnace and the basement and the foundation and all the different things. No, it's not right for you. We head out.
And there's a few clients that need to do that process even when they've already ruled it out. So maybe it's the no maybe game. If it's a maybe rather than the no yes game, just because you say yes, really what you're saying is yes, it's a consideration. If we say yes, it's a consideration, maybe it's the one, then we want to look at naming it something that will jog our memories, your memory, to come back to it.
Yep. And if all else fails and you've been going through a lot of properties and nothing's showing up in a timely fashion, then you want to revisit your thinking. We're going to relook at location or price range or number of bedrooms, or we're going to find something to edit to bring it more in line so that we can find you the right property for you. And Leonardo da Vinci said this: simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. And we're glad that we can be clarifying your options, because when your options are clear, your wisdom will flow.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward.